All available experts, please report to room A9.
Hello guys, Actor here, and welcome to Caesar Psycho. So this is what it will look like. And this first stage, as you can see here, the transformation for white is nothing, so it's just could be the basic form of this, which I'll explain now. We're going to find a starting letter and shift that letter via each of these letters, one after the other. So let's see how we're going to get our first letter. Stage 1, we use the first letter of the serial number. So the serial number is A, and what we do now is we add the alphabetic position of each of the subsequent letters to get new letters. Basically mod 26 each time. So 1 plus 18, we get S, plus 26, we get S again. Then we add 12, we get E. We add 14, we get S, and we add 26, we get S again. And since the letters are also yellow, there is no transformation to them, so we're just going to type in the word as normal. And now we're getting the colours. So first we need to decrypt these letters to find the actual letters we're going to be using. We look at cyan, subtract its alphabetic position from 27. So these letters we're basically going to put through an @bash cipher. So H becomes, quickly open this up again. H is 8, 27 minus 8,
All personnel, please return to
19, so we actually have S. Minus 2 is Y. Minus 26 is 1. Minus 10 is 17 or Q. And then minus 15, we get L. So these are the actual letters we're using. Let's find our first letter. There's exactly one lit indicator. There isn't, there's 3. So we'll use the second letter of the serial number, H. And then we're going to do exactly what we did previously. So we have 8 plus 19, then mod 26 again, A. Then we're going to add 25. We get Z. Then add 1. We get A. Add 17. Add 1. Add 17. We get R. And then finally add 12. We get D. Hazard. But we're not going to type in hazard like this, because as you can see, the letters are coloured as well. So we're going to go to the yellow rule here. The letters have to shift forwards by the digit 0 in its position, if it's a number, or if as with position otherwise. This means when you decrypt them, that's what's meant to happen. So rather than position forwards, we're going to shift backwards to find out what goes to that. So 8 minus 1 is 7, so G, and just to check, if we had this letter, G shifts forwards by the digit of the 0 number in the position or the alphabetic position otherwise. Adding 1, we get H, so that is correct. Up next we have A, which is 1, and we're going to be subtracting, right? Yeah. Subtracting H, which is 8, plus 26. Our second letter is S. The next letter we're going for is Z. That's 26 minus 8. we get R. We got A again, 1 minus 17, because the fourth character of the serial number, plus 26. You get J. 24. Wait, not 24. 18 minus 24 plus 26. You get T. And then finally D, which is 4, minus the sixth character, which is 5, plus 26. You get Y. And we can just quickly check this. This moves forward bonds to H. S moves forward 8 to 1. 18 moves forward 8. 18 moves forward 8 to Z, or Z, which is 0 or 26. 10 plus 17 minus 26, we get 1. A. 20 plus 24 minus 26, get 18, which is R. And then 25 plus 5 minus 26, we get 4, which is D. So now we've got hazard in this form. We can press submit. And this is where the fun starts. We now have all the different colours. So, but the process is pretty much the same, just we have to be careful with the different colours. So let's start with violets. Shift backwards by the sum of the numeric digits, the serial number and its position on the screen from right to left. 1, 2, be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Backwards here. But E, which is 5, we shift it backwards, so we're going to be subtracting the sum of the numeric digits of the serial number. So we're subtracting A and 5. And then also its position on the screen from right to left, so that's going to be minus another 5. We're going to add 26. First actual letter is M. We're going to do the same thing again, but in this case it's going to be 22 minus these two again, but minus 4 this time. We'll get E as our second letter. Move to magenta. Shift backwards by the position of the previous transformed letter. Previous transformed letter is E. Z minus E is U. Red, shift forwards by position on the screen from left to right. 20 plus 4 is 24, or X. And then cyan is the Abash one. So 27 minus 10, we get Q. And now, finding our first letter. There's actually one unlit indicator, there isn't. If there are no indicators, we have indicators. So we're going to use the alphabetically last letter to appear on an indicator label, which is R, I think. And now, doing the process as we've done previously, we're going to do 18 plus 13, well 26. We get E plus 21. We get Z. Even we had 5. We get J. Then we had 21. We get E again. Add 24. We get C. Then add 17. We get T. So what we totally reject? But of course, as you remember, we had to transform these letters as well. So the first letter we need, we don't have just a white R, but I can say shift backwards by the alphabet position of the previous transform letter, unless it's the first, then do nothing. We have a magenta R here. The previous letter doesn't exist, so we're doing nothing. So magenta R just becomes the white R. We have a white E here, so we can use that. J might be slightly more difficult though. Or actually no, that we have white letters here for E, J, and E. Finding the C might be slightly more difficult though. So we don't have any white C's, so we can't use that. So let's look at what the red would have to be. Shift forwards by its position on the screen from left to right is in position 5. So C minus 5 would give us to X. So do we have a red X? We don't have a red X. Let's see magenta. Shift backwards by the position the previous transform letter. In this case, if we'd already transformed it, like if we had this G here, it would still be as if you were decrypting it, so it will be just the original word is the transformed letters. So like, if we typed it as REJN, we wouldn't use 14 as the number for the previous transformed letter, we would still use E, or 5. So in this case, we have E. So adding 5 to C, we get A, which is H, and we have a magenta H here. And this magenta H, if we took it, magenta H, 8, shift backwards by the alphabet position of the previous transform letter. Previous transform letter is 5, subtracting the alphabet position, we get 3, which is C, which is what we needed. In the final letter, do we have a obvious T? No. This T might not be what we end up going for. Shift forwards by its position on the screen from left to right. We have 6 this time, so shifting backwards instead. 20 minus 6. Minus 6 would be? Yeah. We would have a red N, which we have. So this is how we're submitting our answer here. Hopefully, if I haven't messed anything up, let's check. Let's just check over this. I'll shift backwards by the alphabet position of the previous transform letter unless it's the first. It is the first, so we do nothing. The white letter we do nothing. The magenta we shift backwards by the position again. H becomes C, as we pointed out. And then red N, shift forwards by its position on the screen from left to right. N, O, P, Q, R, S, T. So this should be right. We press submit. There we go, so module. I think I ended up going through all of the different transformations there. But just to go through them now. Shift forwards by the position of the screen from left to right. Top screen, that's 1 to 5. Bottom screen, that's 1 to 6. Backwards by the position of the previous transform letter is self-explanatory. This one, you just look at the serial number and change them as needed. Oh, actually, I don't think I went over this one. Shift forwards by the numeric digit of the serial number in its position, wrapping back to the first character. So, in the case of what we had, which we would have had 8 and 5 as the 2 digits, as the numeric digits of the serial number. Looping back to the first character means that we just loop the 2 numbers, so 85, 85, 85 would be the letters for each of the ones here, if we were doing the encrypting stuff, or if we decrypting, we just remove the last one. If the parities of the positions on the screen and the second numeric digit are equal, So for this one, since the same numeric digit is 5, the first, third, and fifth ones will be shifting forwards. The second and the fourth one will be shifting backwards. So like this. Second, fourth, and the sixth one if it was there. This is just that dash, and then this one you shift backwards by the sum of the digits, so it will be A and 5 in this case. And then also it's positioned from right to left. So on the top screen that would be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the bottom screen that would be 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Before I finish off, there's also this rule. Shift the use letter forwards by the cumulative number of strikes across all currently active Caesar Psycho modules. Currently active, I presume, means ones that haven't been solved yet. Okay, haven't are still interactable with. But I don't think this changes if you strike on one detached from a different one, but I haven't tested that yet. But to be warned, if a letter doesn't seem to make sense, just look at this rule and it might be that. But it's received across all currently active Caesar Psycho modules. Any other strike I don't think matters, but it has to be specifically on a Caesar Psycho module. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully Caesar Psycho makes a bit more sense to you now. Remember, for submitting the message, you had to submit what it would be if you then decrypted it like this. So basically just flipping some of the stuff around. So basically you shift backwards, you actually shift forwards. You're basically encrypting it using this rather than decrypting it. Hopefully that makes a bit more sense. And I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. I'll see you later.